Hello, gardening family. Today I am working on some dinner for my family and I need to harvest some greens. So I plan on going through our greens and just grabbing what's available because I want them to keep producing. We are at the point where they are being very productive. However, they'll of course be more productive if I can cut some off so that they'll know I want you to keep producing. So this girl right here is my favorite plant in the garden. This is my Swiss Chard that I cleaned up before. So I'm just going to take some leaves off of her. This is the very first harvest I've had since I cleaned her up on a recent video. So as you can see, she is doing well. Of course, still being bitten by some animal, some insect or so, but she is actually doing well. If you can see that insect right there, I don't know if I can get her in the picture for you. That is not a ladybug. That is an Asian lady beetle. And she is not our friend. So go ahead and get her off of there. She may be some of what is going on with this plant. All right, so we're just going to harvest some of the leaves that are here. Take her back down to a smaller size. And some of what is here, I'm not harvesting for dinner. I'm actually harvesting so that I can put them away in the freezer. And they may end up being a part of our Thanksgiving dinner. So that's what's going on with some of these. But I figured I'd take you in, let you see the harvest. And it looks like I still have a grasshopper or so out here. Look at this. I mean, that's not happening just by a random worm, I don't think. I think a grasshopper has to be biting that at the same time. So let me grab a few more of these and then I will proceed on into the rest of the garden and grab some of the other leaves that are out here. Get a pretty good harvest from this girl that seemed like she may have been on her last leg, but she's actually doing really well. Look at that. This is my girl. Okay, we are pretty much at the base of what I want to leave. One more off of there. I'm not really that concerned about her at this point because I know that I have not sprayed her in a bit, and I usually use neem and some worm and caterpillar spray, and I've not done that in a bit, so I think that is some of what's going on. But I am so proud of her. She's doing great. Look at this haul for a plant that seemed like it was on its way out. That's amazing. So we have all of these beautiful greens out here. We have collard greens, we have cabbage, we have collard greens right here. We have broccoli right here. You may have seen this girl in a recent video. That's that broccoli that's heading. We also, oh look, we have another head forming. Look at that. That's so cool. Look at this one. Yay. All right. Then we also have some mustard greens right here, as well as red cabbage. That's also here. And this is another Swiss chard. This is the Swiss chard from the corn video. And she's still producing beautifully as well. So I'm going to chop some of her down as well. All right. So let's get to it. There's actually more mustard here. Some little baby ones. These are all volunteers. There's one there. Then as we come around here, there's one that has decided it wanted to grow right up under this collard green plant. And there is another one now growing right here. Yep. A little crazy. And then another girl over here. She's closer to my compost heap, but hey, She is growing nicely, so I'll relocate a few of these soon, but they are doing beautifully. So let's get this party started. I am going to go ahead and harvest some of the collard greens. This one looks like it could do better. It's not looking as great as I would want them to look. Still don't, it doesn't look sick or anything, but she definitely needs some nutrients, so we'll deal with that in a little while as well. And hey, that's a great haul for our collard greens. Here's our mustard green. We're gonna go ahead and cut her down some too so that she can continue producing as well. All right, we're going to leave that, and here is our mustard green haul. I think that is a pretty good haul, guys. That's a meal. Here's our Swiss Chard. We're going to go ahead and grab some off of her as well. And this main plant is the one, like I mentioned, she was in the corn video, and even though she seemed to be bolting, she is not flowering. So since she's not flowering, we're just continuing to enjoy the greens that are coming from her. So she's just continuing to be super productive. So until such time as she decides that she doesn't want to grow any longer, we're just going to enjoy her. She's just continuing to be super productive. And although her leaves aren't as wide as they would be normally, they still taste great. So perhaps she's going to give up pretty soon, but for now, she's continuing on. Okay, so this is the Swiss Chard haul just from this plant. Look at that. You know how expensive Swiss Chard is in the store. I don't know. From what I have gathered from our garden today, this is probably $10, $12 worth of chard, if not more, of course. And I want to show you something, guys, because I am right here and I'm just seeing it. And that explains some of why my brassica leaves aren't looking as great as they should. I really have to get some of my worm and caterpillar spray out here. If I could speak today. Caterpillar spray. All right, so I'm going to show you. Look at that. Cabbage worms. They are on my broccoli plant. So I'm going to deal with these guys right now by just taking care of them, but I certainly need to get out here and spray soon so that they don't continue to impact the leaves the way that they are. Okay, yeah, don't need them doing that because I need this broccoli to do her thing. Okay, so these guys are actually the reason that I'm really out here. These are some of my red mustard greens. These are the red mustard green babies that you saw me plant out and move from random places in the garden because these are all volunteers. And it's time to harvest. And some of these smaller leaves, I am taking them because they do look a little old. So if they're a little old, a little ragged, I'm going to take them off. Some of them will end up in the compost heap. Others will end up in the pot. Alright guys, look at these red mustard greens. That's Swiss Chard. Okay. And we are running out of space. So let me show you our haul. So far, look at that. Isn't that awesome? Running out of space in our harvest basket. And I have a lot more to go. So I think I'm going to have to actually dump this and bring it back. Isn't that a good problem to have? I think so. So for those of you that have seen my video on this collard green, or the videos that this collard green has been in, this is my tall collard green. This is the spring collard that has grown and grown and grown. And I also thought that she was done. You know, she just continues to produce. So we're going to roll with her as long as she's producing. All right. So let's go ahead and grab the ones off of her. Alright, so not a bad haul for the collard green harvest. This will work. We'll go ahead and put those away and keep those for Thanksgiving. So this is another one of my volunteers that is just hanging out. So we're going to take a harvest from her as well. All right, put those in the basket and we're going to move on. Right beside that volunteer mustard green, we have all of this going on. So my plants, of course, were already covered up because of the cold weather. And even though I know these red mustard greens don't have to be covered, they are right here with my green beans that are right here that I'm still holding on to. Just as long as they're covered in this section, they should be fine. And because I kind of take them and take the covers off during the day, so as long as I can hold on to them and before I need the space and I'm going to plant something else there, then they're fine. But once I get to the point where I need it, then I'll pull them out. Yeah, let's go. Let's harvest. Look at that leaf, guys. Isn't she beautiful? That is a big leaf. And you may be wondering why I'm cutting these and I don't really have to cut them. I'm choosing to cut some of this because sometimes when the remnants are left, then slugs and such tend to come to the plants, and I do have slugs that are here in the garden. I actually came out last night and had to deal with several slugs that were out here, but that's the reason that I prefer to cut versus just pinch them off of there. There are two plants that are actually really close together right here. I have to pay attention to those closely or move them. They're actually right here and there. Okay. All right, that is going to do it. There is our red mustard greens from this section. That's our haul. That's pretty nice. pretty nice. And I can't even give you a comparison for red mustard greens, you know, because I've never actually seen them in a grocery store that I've been to. So I have no idea what they would charge for these. But if there were like collard green bunches, and I imagine this would be a premium over the collard green bunch, this probably would run you $5 or $6. That's probably old prices, maybe more like $8 now. So that's awesome. Excited. Okay, guys, so this is our harvest. I was able to stuff all the rest of it in there with it, but look at this. Doesn't that look amazing? Red mustard greens, giant red mustard greens, Swiss chard, collard greens, mustard greens. That's amazing. We can't ask for much more than that, to be able to grow our own food, harvest it when it's ready, and take it in and prepare it for when we need it. That's awesome. I think it's such a blessing for us to just be able to do this, and especially today on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. So yeah, I think this is great, and I wouldn't take anything for it. So thank you guys for taking this journey with me. Thank you for watching the harvest and seeing what's growing on in my garden. If you like the video, hit like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.